Hello, people of Earth. Today, I'ma review Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, the fifth Mission Impossible film. Now, I'm going to be upfront here. I've never seen a minute of the Mission Impossible franchise, excluding this one, of course, so I went in not knowing what to expect. This may affect my judgment on it. Honestly, I don't know, but so, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation came out this year and was directed by Christopher McQuarrie, if that is how you pronounce it. I hadn't previously heard of him, but he's directed Jack Reacher and The Way of the Gun, which I've seen neither of. But he did write the screenplay for Jack the Giant Slayer and Edge of Tomorrow, which I thought both were decent, Edge of Tomorrow definitely being better. And he straight up wrote The Usual Suspects, which of course is critically acclaimed, but I'll be honest, I think it's a bit overrated. It's something about Kevin Spacey's performance I don't like, but I'll save that for another review. Anyways, Mission Impossible stars Tom Cruise, who of course is a super famous movie star, and I personally like him. Not so much in action roles, more the Eyes Wide Shut and A Few Good Men type roles. It also stars Jeremy Renner, who of course plays Hawkeye in the MCU and is also a pretty well-known actor. And Simon Pegg co-stars in the Cornetto trilogy with Nick Frost, which I absolutely adore. And the villain is played by Sean Harris, another pretty established actor, but I've only seen him in Prometheus, which I didn't like. Okay, now let's get into the story. It opens with a very enjoyable, somewhat comedic scene that doesn't make much sense, but also sets the tone for the rest of the film. Basically, Tom Cruise sneaks into a flying plane and removes the cargo, which was nuclear bombs. And that's it. And then the rest of the normal plot story movie starts. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And then the actual movie starts. So some girl who may have importance in the other films gets wasted by an unknown man who is Sean Harris. Meanwhile, the IMF gets shut down by Jack Donaghy. I refer to him as Jack Donaghy because I like Jack Donaghy's personality more than Alec Baldwin's. Shuts down the IMF, but Cruise goes rogue anyway, tracking down mystery man Sean Harris and unravels secrets about an organization known as the Syndicate, alongside Benji, William, and Luther, and some mystery woman. Now into the review. First, the bad. I shouldn't say bad because people will accuse me of thinking my opinion is absolute, so I'll change that to dislike. So first, the dislike. Wait, no. The bad sounds better. I'll stick with that. So, since I'm new to this, I should tell you about myself. I hate action sequences. Now, I shouldn't say that. I do like some action sequences if they're done right. For example, fight scenes, as long as they don't run on too long. And I'll watch pretty much any action sequence if it's being directed by George Miller. But I do know most people love action sequences, and I'm just a freak. So I won't hold that against the movie. Of course, about a third of the movie is an action sequence or a car chase or something, which I enjoy at first, and then it bores me. Call me old-fashioned, but I get more caught up in a good dialogue scene than some Michael Bay-style explosions everywhere action. And of course, it is a Mission Impossible movie, meaning a lot of the stuff that happens is impossible. Well, I'm not exactly a physics teacher, but I assume so. I could be wrong. Maybe everything was possible, and Mission Impossible was named hastily. But either way, that I guess is a negative because it's either a false name or impossible things happen. I guess the comedy was great, but there were a few jokes I almost cringed at. Just a few, maybe one or two. The rest was hilarious. Lastly, in the bad, it ran on too long. I like my movies 100 minutes or less. This was 131 minutes. I think they could have trimmed down some of the action such car chases. That's it. I know what you're thinking. Stop complaining about the action. It's a Mission Impossible movie. You should have known what you were going into. And you're right, and I did. I'm just giving my opinion, alright? Back off. Now, the good. When I said action sequence, I failed to mention scenes like the opera scene and the underwater scene, and that's because I thought those scenes were absolutely amazing. They were the best scenes in the films, they were intense, gripping, and had you holding your breath alongside Tom Cruise. I could go on and on about these scenes, but I don't want to ramble or accidentally spoil something without realizing it, so moving on. The comedy was great, and was of course ran by Simon Pegg, who's absolutely hilarious in every scene and basically every role he does, except maybe Paul. Not only that, but he did great in the dramatic scenes as well. He's seriously an excellent actor and deserves more dramatic roles and roles in general. I think he outshined Tom Cruise, who also does great, and he is a great actor, and Jeremy Renner does great and is pretty funny as well. Alec Baldwin does great as a dislikable guy, which of course he is in real life, so shouldn't have been that difficult for him. Rebecca Ferguson, I feel like I should know her, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right or wrong. So Rebecca Ferguson does good as well as the person you can't really tell what side they're on, much like Mac from Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, except a lot better. And Sean Harris as a villain does absolutely excellent. He gives me an Emperor vibe, as he does most of his work behind the shadows. The writing of the dialogue was also great, and the characters were great, as they did have 4 previous films to establish them. In the end, Mission Impossible is fun, very fun, with great dramatic and comedic undertones, and really was a great ride, despite me hating action and length.